Hey guys, 2 points to the video today. The first of which is that autochess have confirmed they are releasing a new unit, I guess on the next update, called Rogue Guard, a 5-cost warrior demon. The passive, 50% splash damage in a 2.5 tile radius, which is insane. Active increases demon damage by 100, all demons on the field. So this is a crucial piece for a demon build. It's a legendary, of course, so it will be hard to find, but it is going to be insane. The other point in this video is that we are going to go over a 9 warrior comp. It is a very strong composition in the meta, and I'll talk to you about why in the video. I think it could be one of the strongest comps in the current meta. But before we get to that, I'm giving away a Switch and a game on the channel this month. All you need to do is like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and then when you get the notification for the video, make sure you leave a comment, because the comment guarantees you an entry for the Switch, and then that'll be drawn at the end of August. Now, if you like giveaways, Claytano is giving away a PS4 on his channel, so go and... Okay guys, so I want to talk a little bit about 9 warriors. During the early rounds, I'm not going to talk about too much about my decision making, because you know what I do now. I basically just pick strong units, try and pair them up as much as possible. With warrior comps, I generally just buy all the warriors that I see, and if I know that I'm going 9 warriors, it doesn't matter which warriors that I buy, I just buy warriors. That's essentially how I play the game when I'm playing 9 warriors. It's a really simple tactic. It's like the easiest tactic you can teach your friends to get into the game. Buy anything with the brown axe on it, and then just put it on the field and upgrade them. It's pretty simple. I even include God of War in the early game. My general 9 warrior comp does not usually include God of War, because I do think he's a little bit lackluster outside of like normal God compositions where you can't activate his ability that often. However, the upside of God of War is if you get him to God of War 3 and you're in a 9 warrior comp, the guy is basically unkillable. He's, especially to just physical damage, because he has damage reduction on the front and sides, and then he has all of that armor that 9 warriors provide. He does become nigh on unkillable, so you can play 9 warriors with God of War. I generally choose not to, because you need to make him God of War 3 for him to be effective, and obviously he's still a fairly contested unit. But that's my general reasoning when I look at God of War. You can see here that I pick up our Gali Knight and sell off a couple of things to pick up Skybreaker and also, to pick up Frost Knight and also our Gali Knight. I'm basically giving myself the option of knights if I need to go for that direction. But right now, I just pick up our Gali Knight because he's a good knight in general. So I want to talk a bit about 9 warriors and why 9 warriors are good. So 9 warriors are a comp that benefits from very high amounts of armor. You do need to get to level 9 to make it work. I don't think that's impossible. Level 8 is the optimum level to make a composition work, but in general, level 9 is achievable if you are doing okay in a game. So what I like to do with 9 warriors and why it's so good is that you get all of this armor, and think about what is currently meta. Mages suck. God mages are worse than before. Anything that deals magic damage is generally a little bit lower down on the... So I just knocked my microphone over. Is generally a little bit lower down on the tier list of compositions right now. What is good? Beast Warrior, Hunters, Knights, even Dragon Knights now as well, which does deal a little bit of magic damage, so you do need to be aware. But in general, anything that is dealing physical damage and hits you with basic attacks is quite good right now. 9 Warriors counters all of that, because it just builds an insane amount of armor. It even beats Feathered. Now, I don't think it'll beat 9 Feathered, but it will beat 6 Feathered. So generally people don't play 9 Feathered, generally people play 6 Feathered Assassin. But even 9 Warriors beats 6 Feathered. The way it beats 6 Feathered is that although they rely on basic attacks and 6 Feathered are good at dodging, Feathered will never deal enough damage to actually get through the armor that 9 Warriors has. And if you include something like Swordman, which you need to, you actually have a lot of magic damage. You can constantly cast Pirate Captain ultimates. You can constantly get your spin to win off from your Swordman. And you can actually get through the Feathered evasion pretty rapidly. So I think 9 Warriors is a pretty good comp in this meta, and I think if you are looking to climb, especially in like Bishop to Rook ranks, it's a very easily achievable composition, because you don't have to try too hard, you don't have to think too much, and it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of what units that you buy, because you can buy warriors from level 1 and succeed, and you can just continue to buy warriors that way. So let's talk about the game now. Just catching up with where I am. You can see that I've actually kind of gone a little bit into some knights here. I've also picked up some skull hunters. I'm just trying to buy pairs. You know what I do in the early game. I generally try to buy pairs. It doesn't matter what those pairs are. Generally, I like them to line up with the comp that I'm going, but if they don't, that's no big deal. You know, it's not a big investment to buy a pair and say, okay, we can sacrifice this later. And what's worked out really well for me here in this scenario is that I've actually got a Skull Hunter level 2. And a Skull Hunter level 2 is really, really good in conjunction with the Cave Clan bonus, but also, on top of that, it's really good in conjunction with the fact that I've now got the 3 warriors on the board too. So I've actually got the warrior bonus, and I've got 2 2-stars, including a Red Axe Chief and a Skull Hunter. Now, I delayed my level up to the level 5 here, just to make sure that I have enough options on my bench. I think with a Skull Hunter 2 and with a Red Axe 2, I'm strong enough to beat most compositions at this point in time, even if they were level 5. So I was pretty comfortable not going up to level 5. That was just me judging how strong my comp was. My comp in the early game is pretty strong, so I was very comfortable just saying, okay, like, let's just go Skull Hunter 2, and then just put Red Axe 2 on, and we don't need to go up to the next level. The next level has a couple of options. You can see I just got loads of really good warriors on the field here, including Swordman, which is great with my early Cave Clan. I'm going to sell off the stuff that I don't want. I've got enough to say, okay, this is a good time to go to... this is a good time to stick to warriors now. I don't need to think about moving to any other type of composition. And you can see here that what I've done is... basically just shoved everything onto Skull Hunter, get his ultimate up quickly, but I've also kept myself at level 4. Now you might say, why have you kept yourself at level 4? You know, you haven't really got a particularly strong composition, but actually with the Cave Clan bonus, with the Warrior bonus, and with the fact that I've got a level 2 Skull Hunter, I do actually have a pretty good comp. Now I'm not going to beat this God comp here, because he's just going to kill me with his Heaven Bomber, but he's actually pretty strong overall, and you can see that I even beat... this guy here who's in second place with only 4 units on the field, and that's a good judge of kind of like where I am. I was playing up a guy who had God of War 2 and was in a really strong position, but I wanted to wait for one level to essentially just get that extra income gold. You might have asked why I waited. It's because I sold everything to get to 10 gold. I wanted to keep myself above 10 gold. That helps me get an extra gold per round, and that stacks up over the course of the next 5 rounds. That's going to stack up to an extra 5 gold, and that might push me over the threshold to like 30 or 40 gold a round sooner than I would have been able to get there. So that's why I made that decision around not leveling up on that round versus leveling up the next round. It was just mainly to do with gold thresholds. So in the early game, remember, I always recommend that you stick to gold thresholds. You have a look at kind of the 10s that you can achieve with your bench. Always pay attention to how much gold you've got sitting on your bench. That's a very important thing. And then sell things off if you don't need them to get up to that next gold threshold, like I did just there. And then utilize the 5 gold that I had at 15 gold. I could stay above 10 gold, and then I put myself in a really nice position. So you can see here I'm lining up with loads of really good pairs. I've got a pair of Abyssal Guards, I've got a pair of Swordmen, I've got another pair of Red Axes who I can bring in if I need to. I've got a very strong warrior comp right now, and you can see that not many other people are actually committing to warriors. There is a guy in second place who's already picked up a pirate captain who looks like he's going Beast Warrior with the Poisonous Worm on the field. But in general, I've managed to stack up the majority of the warriors here. So I'm very happy to say, okay, this is probably going to carry me round to, you know, if I pair up Swordsman, if I pair up Abyssal Guard, maybe pick up a level 2 Tusk Champion as well, that's going to carry me to like round 20. I'm probably not going to lose many rounds unless I'm facing very heavy magic damage. Something that I am paying attention to, by the way, is the amount of God and Mage comps that we're seeing. One of the biggest counters to Warriors is Mages and God Mages. Now, they are both much weaker than they used to be. God Mages are weaker because they got nerfed on the last update. Mages, or 3 Mages specifically, are weaker because they got nerfed fairly recently too. Not fairly recently, it was about a month and a half ago, but they got nerfed as well, which makes them pretty susceptible to pretty much any other comp right now. If they had that magic resist reduction nerfed, then that basically cut mages out of the meta for a little bit. And until they get buffed again, I don't envision we're going to see too many 3 mage comps because they're just not as strong as they used to be. There was a part of me here that was like, okay, could I sell those 2 Red X's and go for the 2 God of Wars, because that's another pair that I have on the field. But realistically, again, I'm not intending on putting God of War in my composition. So I'm just going to leave it. We're on a neutral round. I want to keep myself at 20 gold to get myself that 2 interest gold. I don't want to take that off the field just yet. So I'm pretty happy to just say, okay, cool. We will we will sit on the 20 gold. We'll ignore the God of War for now. God of War isn't that important to our composition, and we can wait. And again, now we're picking up more and more really, really big, important units. I'm going to go up to level 6 here after the neutral round, keeping myself at 20 gold. I'm giving my resistances to Swordman because he's one of my biggest magic DPS units, and when you're playing warriors, you have a severe lack of magic DPS, and Swordman, if you can keep him alive, can provide a really, really good alternative source of damage for you in the late game. I go up to level 6, keeping myself at 20 gold again. Gold thresholds, very important to monitor in the early game. Remember, your target is 50 gold by round 15. That's kind of where you want to end up if you're playing an early game, that goes exactly to plan. If you can get 50 gold by round 15, especially if you're not win streaking or lose streaking, you're having a pretty good game. And with the rate at which I am generating my income here, I will be around 50 gold. As long as I don't overspend, I will be around 50 gold by the time I get to round 15. Now, there is a school of thought that exists that on round 13, if I feel strong enough, I could potentially go to level 17. It really depends on my win streak here. I can't remember what my win streak was. I know that I will check on the next round to assess whether I want to go to level 7 or not early. But it is something that is worth paying attention to. Even if you are middling and you're starting to build a win streak, if you've got a win streak of +2, I would say that is worth protecting for a 15 gold investment. I would say that a +2 win streak is worth investing for a 15 gold investment. So if you find yourself in a situation where you are win streaking around round 13 and you have a +2 gold win streak, it is worth protecting that with a level 7 level up. So I would always say that. So I'm gonna have a look at my own win streak on the next round, hopefully. And that will tell me whether I want to level up to level 7 or not. It also is worth noting, if you don't have any units to bring in, it's always sort of worth saying, well, do I have a good unit to bring in at level 7? So you can see here I check, +2 win streak. Thank God I did it. I was hoping that I wasn't just talking at my bottom here, but yeah. So I checked that I had a +2 win streak, and I invested 15 gold. Now in terms of maths, I went from 37 to 20. I lost 1 interest gold on that round, but I'm looking to protect 2 win streak gold. So I actually protect, if I win this round, versus if I lost it on the next round, I actually protect my win streak by 1 gold. So I get an extra gold per round because I chose to invest into protecting my win streak. And I also don't need to reinvest that money later on. That's really important and something that people always forget. I don't need to reinvest that 15 gold later on post round 15. That's a really big deal. So you can see here I'm actually now managing to pick up the werewolf, which gives me the beast bonus, which is really strong. And I'm now confident enough to sell off my skull hunter because I want to bring in the 6 warriors. I am in a strong enough position that I'm pretty comfortable just going for the rolls, and it pays off. This is another thing that you can do when you're win streaking and you're in a good position. I pick up Doom as well, which is absolutely pog, by the way. It's worth taking out my Swordman just for Doom because it's such a big unit. If you're in a really good position and you have a lot of pairs to utilize, it is worth rolling. It's absolutely worth rolling. And I have actually made myself incredibly strong. Like, it just insanely strong because I chose to invest a lot of gold into rolling there. I picked up a core unit in the form of Doom. I've paired off my Stone Spirit. I paired off my Tusk Champion. In general, we are just super strong. And now we've got a pair of swordmen. We've got a pair of werewolves. We are in a really, really good position going into the next few rounds. And if I can win streak my way to round 20, round 21, that investment will have definitely been worth it. If I end up losing my win streak by round 16 or 17, we will probably say that we went even. If we lose our win streak round 16, we definitely made a poor decision. The idea behind spending this much gold to protect a win streak is that you protect the win streak for as long as it takes for you to get back to that 50 gold threshold. So I would ideally like to protect this win streak to get back to 50 gold. That's a really, really important part of choosing whether to spend gold to protect win streaks. You essentially have to say to yourself, am I going to get myself back to the threshold that I was going to achieve if I hadn't spent the money? So I'm just having a look at other people, how they're doing versus the Wolf rounds. I have no concerns versus the Wolf rounds when I'm playing a warrior comp. You have so much armor that you just don't take any damage. And although you don't deal the most insane amount of damage, it's all about surviving and outlasting when you're playing warriors like this. A little bit upset that I didn't really pick up too many items, but I did pick up the bits for a Orb of Refresh. Now, this is an interesting thing to talk about, because there is really only one target in 9 Warriors that wants to use an Orb of Refresh, and that's Pirate Captain. Everybody else is pretty useless. Maybe you could give it to Doom, but it's a bit of a waste. Pirate Captain is just better. So Pirate Captain's about the only unit that you want to give an Orb of Refresh to in a 9 Warrior composition. But in my head, I was like, okay, there are definitely some mage comps in this game. So there are definitely some mage compositions. There are god mages, and there are I think I saw some other mages as well. Do I need to like sack off 9 warriors until level 10 and just add a Siren and then give Siren the Orb of Refresh? Because Siren is probably the best target in the game for Orb of Refresh. So you'll notice that I actually hold the Orb of Refresh for a very long time in my inventory, because there is a dilemma between whether I actually take the Orb of Refresh on my Pirate Captain as soon as I find him, or I save it for a Siren because I want to deal with mage comps in the late game. It's actually a pretty difficult decision to make, and it will really come down to what I find in this game versus like how the game's going, what my other units are, how I'm stacking up my other units. It's actually a pretty difficult decision to make, but that's why I'm keeping my Orb of Refresh right there. And you'll notice when I pick up Pirate Captain, it's also why I continue to keep my Orb of Refresh in my inventory. You're going to see that I take an early level 8 here. I take a level 7. I take a round 17 curve to 8, and the reason I do that is because I'm just so strong that if I keep rolling, I'm going to keep finding those units that are potentially going to get me some big upgrades. So I found myself a level 2 werewolf there. I was actually looking for a Pirate Captain, and now I rolled myself down to 0. Wouldn't recommend that you do this a lot of the time. But it has actually resulted in me having, again, another massive power level increase. And I'm actually really comfortable doing this because I found level 2 Swordman, I found a level 2 Werewolf. We're in a super strong position, and we shouldn't lose this win streak anytime soon. So now I think we're in a good enough position to wait until after the neutral round. And with the win streak that I've got, we should be able to get back to 50 gold around round 21. And that'll be really comfortable for me. So that's why I invested all of that gold into both getting to level 8 early, but also rolling to find some of my pairs, because now I've put myself again in a super strong position. Something else that I'll be keeping a note on is that obviously you want to start 3-starring stuff as a warrior comp. 3-starring stuff is actually pretty important. This is something interesting that I do actually. I actually take out my Red Axe here and put in a Devastator. I put in a Devastator with Orb of Refresh. Now, Devastator got nerfed a couple of patches ago, but a Devastator with Orb of Refresh is still a very scary Devastator, and it's going to help me, especially versus these types of compositions, versus the mage compositions, because I don't really have a good way of preventing magic damage, but Devastator provides me with some serious burst damage, and especially since he automatically refreshes his ultimate. Remember, when he puts his ultimate down, it generates mana back for you. So that instantly gives you the mana to use your Orb of Refresh immediately, which makes him such a good target for Orb of Refresh. So if you're ever playing compositions that kind of use him, be aware that he's a super strong, he's a very, very, very strong unit to have an Orb of Refresh on. This is another bane of the, warrior compositions, by the way. You often end up trying to 3-star too much, and then you just don't get the opportunity to have much bench space, and that's one of the problems, and that's one of the reasons why you'll see me roll a crazy amount over the next few turns, is that I've actually got some level 3s on the horizon here, and if I can get those level 3s, like, we're in a position where we clear up so much of our bench, and that's kind of why I end up spending a lot of gold over the next few runs. Sorry, there's a plane. You could probably hear that plane. At least the dog. At the start of this video, there was a dog barking like crazy, and I was like, please stop barking, because I really don't want to have scuffed audio. I think we're okay, though. I think the plane's now gone. So you see me now pick up another Berserker. I actually very, very heavily luck out on getting a Berserker 2, which, again, makes my comp super strong. I'm literally only looking for a Pirate Captain now as well, by the way, to get to level 9 and have the 9 Warrior comp online. If I were to reflect on what I do from this position onwards, I probably would have saved gold and got to level 9 as quickly as possible, because we're on a win streak and we want to protect that by getting up levels. And again, something that I've always taught you guys is that the best way to protect an advantage is by leveling, because it's a guaranteed power level increase from gold spent, as opposed to rolling, where it's a chance if you get a power level increase. So I don't want... This is a mistake that I want to reflect on from this game, having had to look back at it. I should have saved, okay? I should have saved. I didn't save because I'm an idiot and I got baited by all of these pairs that were being thrown in my face. And I was like, oh wait, I've nearly got like a level 3 like red axe. I've nearly got like a... I'm building up towards a level 3 swordman. I'm building up towards a level 3 stone spirit. I get baited so much by just needing to pair things off and clear bench space that I actually neglect. I actually massively neglect going up to the level 9. The way that I would have played this if I were playing again is that I don't need any increases in units to actually guarantee my win streak. I've got a Refresher Orb Devastator. I've got a very strong warrior comp right now with a lot of 2-stars that a lot of people can't compete with. I don't need to keep rolling. But the bait in me, the getting the level 3 red axe and clearing some bench space, that bait is telling me that I need to roll. And plus I keep going below the 10 gold threshold, so I'm like, well, I could just roll now, can't I? Like, it's not going to make a difference to my income. But realistically, don't do this. I would 100% recommend that you just go to level 9 ASAP. If you're in this situation where you're on a win streak that I'm on, just go to level 9 ASAP. You want to find Pirate Captain, of course, but you won't utilize Pirate Captain realistically until you get to level 9. So just get to level 9. Oh my god. Just like all these crazy beeping things going on. Guys, I'm trying to record a video. Please, stop honking your horn. So, yes, I basically should have decided to go to level... I should have decided to go to level 9, because that would have been the more sensible decision when it came to protecting my win streak. Because you can see I'm actually starting to suffer versus some of these mage compositions and these god mage compositions. And a lot of this is going to come down to where I'm placing my Devastator. The best place for my Devastator is probably just center of the map. Because then if I face someone on the right or face someone on the left, I'm going to get some kind of impact from the Devastator ultimate. And because he's ranged, he kind of sits where he is and never changes position. And because I don't have a teleport dagger, I can't put him into position either. So the best place is just in the center of the map. The mage comps are split between left and right. I can't guess which one I'm going to face, so I better just put him in the center, and that gives me a better outcome in most scenarios. You can see that I'm starting to save gold here. I'm going to be honest, guys, I can't remember what I do with this gold. Now 2020 hindsight vision, Excoundrel would say I'm saving this gold for level 9. But knowing what I'm like, I might have saved up to 30 gold and rolled my way down to 0. Now, I'm hoping I went to level 9. Very much hoping that I went to level 9. It's very likely that I get baited and I try and find a 3-star to clear some bench space. Yeah, you did, didn't you, Excoundrel? Yep, you rolled. Okay, so should have waited one more round and gone to level 9. That would have been the sensible decision. But I'm not sensible, apparently, and I just roll my way down. I also think about a Siren because I needed the magic resist. I pick up an Abyssal Guard and suddenly I'm like, yeah, let's just keep rolling. Oh, Red Axe nearly level 3, better keep rolling. And yeah, this happens. So I was very close to getting to level 9, and then I was like, wait a second, I can start clearing some bench space if I just roll my way down. Don't do that. You can always do that on the next rounds once you get to level 9. The 10 times better scenario is getting to level 9 here. And I would 100% say that I delayed my level 9 by about 5 rounds when I shouldn't have done that. Not 5 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever. But I definitely should have not delayed my level 9 this long, because it has definitely scuppered my chances of keeping this win streak alive for as long as physically possible. How many planes? Have you guys not had enough of flying? Okay, whatever. We just have to deal with it. This is holiday. This is holiday Excoundrel. I have to deal with holiday-based things, and planes are holiday-based things. There's the pirate captain. So now I'm like, well, I'm below 20 gold. I might as well roll for that 3-star Red Axe chief now. No, I'm hoping I saved, because now I found that pirate captain. I'm hoping that I save up to level 9 and then go to put on the 9 warriors, because that means I'll have my full composition activated. I can sell the Devastator and put the Orb of Refresh on my Pirate Captain, which will help me just as much, less damage, but it will help me just as much versus mage compositions because they generally group up. And also means I don't have to worry about positioning of my Pirate Captain as much as versus the positioning of my Devastator. So that's essentially what I'm hoping for over the next few rounds, is to get to level level 9 and start activating my full 9 warrior composition. I delayed it by a little bit too much, but it is something that I was working towards. And then at level 9, I don't need to worry about getting to level 10. It's basically there is no need to worry about getting to level 10. You can see me being baited by potential Berserker and Dooms here, but you can see my cursor is like, no, I am nearly level. No, don't do it. Oh my god. All right, well, I did it again. Would 100% not recommend doing this, especially when you're so close to level 9. Yeah, definitely wouldn't recommend doing what I just did there. That was a bad decision. I was 1 round away from level 9. That was not the ideal way to spend my gold. So, well done, Excoundrel. You definitely made the wrong decision. So this is what I do. This is when I review my games, I also review the bad decisions, and I have made 2 sets of very bad decisions over the last 5 rounds. So again, I can't stress this enough. If you are in a situation where you are on a massive win streak like this, and your composition relies on you being level 9, you get to level 9 as quickly as possible. I thought that I'd found a level 3 Stone Spirit. I've actually just found 2 pairs of level 2 Stone Spirits. I think this might have been the wake-up call for me to say, wait a second, other people are level 9, you're still level 8, you're relying on a Devastator with Orb of Refresh to carry you. You actually need to get to level 9 pretty soon. And yeah, so I should actually now hit level 9 fairly soon, and we'll be able to put this whole nightmare behind us, and it'll be no big deal. But you will notice that I'm probably going to end up losing versus someone soon, and this Storm Shaman was definitely an issue because I lost my Devastator. Lose my Devastator, I basically lose the round. So the Storm Shaman ended up basically killing off the only thing that was keeping me in the game, and I couldn't actually get the work done with the Berserker alone. So that actually ended my win streak, and now I don't have the luxury of generating huge amounts of gold per turn with a +3 win streak because I didn't get to level 9. So now this is the wake-up call where I'm like, okay, like, let's just let's sell Swordman and then focus on 3 level 3s, which is my Red Axe, my Stone Spirit, and my Abyssal Guard, and just get to level 9. So I'm glad that I have finally come to my senses. I think to get from 12 to 32 would require 25 gold. So the next round, I will be able to get to level 9, and I'll be able to activate my entire 9 warrior composition. And yeah, this is actually about 5 rounds too late. This should have happened much earlier. But it happened, and we made that decision, and now we're reflecting on it, and now I know in future games to not spend like a madman, and actually try and invest in getting my proper composition online. The one benefit that I have had to spending is that I have put myself pretty close to 3 stars, and when I get to level 9, the chances of finding the 1 costs goes down, as well as chances of finding 3 costs. So I actually have put myself in a position where I am likely to find a good amount. Oh my god, another plane? I've never had. Oh, it's because it's a glider. Oh, there's a glider. Oh, okay, and it's like flying around the mountainous area around here. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I was getting a little bit tilted that I thought it was just like loads of planes going over, but it's just this one glider. And it looks like it's about to glide into the water. In fact, it's a water boat. Oh my god, it's landing on the ocean. That's pretty cool. Not cool for my video, but I mean, it's cool for me to see. I can't really show you guys, but it was there. So now I should actually be good enough to go to. Have I made a miscalculation here? 20. It's 4 experience per 5 gold. I could have gone to level 9 last round, but it doesn't matter. I still won. Should go to level 9 this round. Hopefully. I also found an egg, which is pretty good because that means I can upgrade my pirate captain if I find another pirate captain. Go to level 9. Good boy, Excoundrel. Good boy. Well done. Yeah, and there's a Red Axe. That's pretty good. And then I have the egg ready to give to my pirate captain realistically. So now I'm going to put my pirate captain on. I'm going to sell my Devastator.
I am going to put in my stone spirit to make sure I get the 9 warriors. Yes, I do. There we go, 9 warriors online. And now I have like a pirate captain who is close to level 2 because I've got the egg, and I have the abyssal guard that I'm ready to use as well. You know, he can get to level. He'll be able to get to level 3 pretty soon too. Teleport dagger there too also. Teleport dagger is only really good on my pirate captain, but actually it's a pretty good target for my teleport dagger, simply because he wants that mana generation. Teleporting him into position is a good idea too, so I'm going to give it to him. I actually don't mind giving my pirate captain the teleport dagger. So actually I end up finding 2 pirate captains in one turn, which means I don't need to use the egg for the pirate captain, and I can instead save it for my abyssal guard, which means I'll have another easy level 3 once I find 1 more abyssal guard. And then once I get 2 3-stars on the board, I'm working just towards a stone spirit level 3. But realistically, like, we're already in a crazy strong position. Something else that's really good about having teleport dagger on my pirate captain is if I'm going up against these God of Wars, I basically get the opportunity to just ignore the God of War and generate mana much more quickly because I just teleport behind him. So you can see, even versus these mage comps, having the double pirate captainship is really powerful because they're all grouped up. I get multiple instances. Oh my god, this glider is coming back again. Guys, I'm trying to talk about 9 warriors and you're just constantly flying over the house. Oh my god. How many times? How many times are we going to have a glider go over the house when I'm trying to record my 9 warrior video? But yeah, so having the pirate captain and the teleport dagger is a really big deal because it basically means I can teleport past that front line and immediately get big impact pirate captain ultimates onto grouped up units. You can see here versus the guy who's playing, I don't know what he was playing. He was playing like Cave Clan something, sorry, Glacier Clan something, but it's all physical damage based, and versus 9 warriors, physical damage is just nigh on impossible to make work. So I'm pretty happy with the end result here. We find a Tusk Champion, which is nice. We also find a Doom, which is also nice. We could potentially think about getting Doom to a 3-star if we find enough. There was no need for me to go to level 10. No need for me to go to level 10 realistically. I could use the egg on the Doom here. I could also just save the egg for the Abyssal Guard, which would be the sensible thing. Obviously, I've managed to claim a lot of bench space once more, but yeah, I think I would save the egg for the Abyssal Guard because I'm so close to an extra level 3 that it's very important that I get another level 3 on the board here. 9 Warriors is a comp that does rely, to an extent, on level 3s, and that's a pretty big deal. So this is a guy who's playing another God Mage comp. I unfortunately just got everybody silenced, including my Pirate Captain, which meant that I just couldn't get my Pirate Captain ultimate off. I also didn't teleport my Pirate Captain into a effective enough spot, and this is the guy that I'm probably going to suffer against the most. This guy here, he's very, very strong. So that's another Stone Spirit. Oh, I actually could use the egg on the Stone Spirit here. Using the egg on the Stone Spirit would actually allow me to get another level 3 on the board. So I actually have a lot of level 3s on the horizon here. I don't need to because I'm not working towards a level 3 Tusk Champion or a level 3 Swordman, but I have 2 level 3s just literally on the horizon, and getting them to level 3 would give them more HP, which would allow them to survive better versus these mage comps. I also moved my Pirate Captain slightly over. Again, good, teleports him right to the back line. He's going to take the damage, and before the Storm Shaman ultimate can come off, he basically can cast that Pirate Captain ultimate twice, which you can see here. 2 double stuns instantly, and even versus the God of Thunder, he's just not doing enough work. Oh, he is doing enough work. Never mind. He did do enough work. That's because he's got a level 3 Swordman. That's where all my Swordmen went, by the way. But this guy actually ended up getting defeated, so we're not too concerned about that. Stacking up on my Berserker, by the way, just giving him as much as possible. I've also got a load of magic resist being gifted over to me, which is good because I don't have much magic resist innately built into this composition. There's the Abyssal Guard. Bang, the egg. Bob's your uncle, another 3-star. And now we're essentially just looking for another Stone Spirit to get that next level 3. You don't really need to position versus the Black Dragon King as 9 warriors because you just don't take any damage.
So you don't really need to position for anything, really, as 9 warriors. There is really only one way you can position as 9 warriors, and that is in a line, with Berserker behind that line. There is no fancy ways of positioning as 9 warriors. It just doesn't work. 9 warriors is purely just stack everything in a line. I actually put my Pirate Captain behind, simply because Devastator-wise, sorry, not Devastator, but Teleport Dagger-wise, he can teleport past my front line, and it might be better for him to teleport into a gap. I remember that there is a gap in TL Cop's lineup right in front of where my Pirate Captain is. If you look 4 squares in front of my Pirate Captain, I want him to teleport directly there, because I remember there was a gap. So what you're going to see is me teleport directly behind that God of War, quickly enough to me to get the first Pirate Captain ultimate off, even through the silence, and then we get another Pirate Captain ultimate off, which ends up winning this. We lost versus this guy previously, remember, so that one tiny positioning that I used with my Pirate Captain actually put me in a strong enough position to beat him one-on-one. You can see here that green is going to go out to me. He's running the weird, I don't know what it is, like, it's like Warlock, Beast, Cave Clan Warrior, the guy Glacier Clan Warrior. It's a pretty good comp, don't get me wrong, like, it got him to 3rd, so I can't really knock it. And now it's just me versus TL Cop again. I just have that same positioning, because I don't know if he's going to have adjusted his lineup at all. But yeah, I'm just going to have that same positioning again, and that should end up giving me the game. I don't actually get a level 3 Stone Spirit, which is really sad. I was looking for a level 3 Stone Spirit. I could have probably sold Doom and searched for it, but it's not big enough of an upgrade for me to say I need it to win this game. And again, no movement. I move my Pirate Captain directly in. He actually gets silenced this time, which is a bit of a big deal, but not enough damage is dealt to him before he can actually end up getting off his Pirate Captain ultimates, which ends up winning me this particular round. Having a look on his board, we also end up winning this particular round too, and that ends up winning me the game. And this bloody plane is back again. So before, I'm going to speak really closely into my microphone. Sorry for the plane. I hope you enjoyed 9 Warriors. I'll see you soon.